All right. Good afternoon, guys, on the East Coast. Good afternoon on the West Coast. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. Thank you for joining us. Um, as you well know, we do have a great show for you guys. We do have a special guest joining us from the world of voice acting. So give me one moment while I introduce someone. One sec. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce actor, voice actor, musician, Greg Cipes. What's going on, Greg? How you doing, man?
Cruising, I'm cruising. It's good to be on here with you all. Blessings, blessings. Yeah, I'm strolling through Venice Beach right now on my way to get a green juice. I got my dog in the back seat, and we're just we jumped in the ocean already. Did an interview already talking about all kinds of good things in life happening. As much as there's so much garbage and toxic stuff, we really got to look at the silver lining in all of it and go towards what we want. Because if we focus on what we want, that's what we'll get. If we focus on what we don't want, we'll get what we don't want. And it's quite a dance. And I know what I want. I want more cartoons, more music, more playing with dogs, more swimming in the ocean, and all. And the more I focus on that, the more I have of that. So it's pretty awesome. But sometimes I'm not perfect.
Hey, none of us are, man. None of us are. So I'll adjust to here because I know that you're a riding man. First and foremost, thanks, as I said, for coming on the show and talking. Talking about your body of work.
Yeah, man.
Throughout the industry. So first and foremost, can you? I understand that you've been at this for forever. Since you were young, and in terms of everything that you've done thus far, it's not only accomplished. Most people attribute a lot of what you do to voice acting, but I mean, you do far more than that. Even long before you that became what you've been known for, whether it's been with acting on the stage, your talents as a musician, or even athletically, as a surfer. So I'm
Yeah.
just curious with everything that you have within your skill set as an entertainer. Um, how did that evolve into going into voice work?
Well, it kind of makes sense if you look at it from a macro visual perspective, where voice acting really allows me to have the most freedom ever. I can go to work in my pajamas. I don't have to work that many hours a week, which therefore I get to spend more time surfing and more time making music and more time being of service to my community. And what I'm doing right now, more than anything, what I really want to be known for when I leave my body and people are like, oh, remember that guy Greg Cipes? He started that religion about finding God through dog. So I'm focusing all my energy on teaching people by living it, basically how to find God through serving your dog. And because dogs are the highest forms of life on the planet, they're they have all the greatest qualities in the universe: patience, compassion, loyalty, innocence, forgiveness, on and on and on. And if you can embody those qualities that the dog has, then you are in line with God. So right now I'm focusing a lot of my energy and my resources and everything that I'm doing. And I've been doing with Beast Boy for a long time, bringing the message of peace, love, and animals. That's what Beast Boy does. He's the first ever vegan vegetarian superhero, so it's been cool to play Beast Boy. But it all kind of just ties together. It's really cool how it's all in synergy for me, and it's because I've chosen that. People have told me over time, yo, you got to pick one thing. You got to pick one thing, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna pick it all. I'm gonna do it all, and then little by little, it gets done. I'm producing TV shows now, and I'm on my fourth or fifth album now that I'm putting out, and more to come. And I'm starting this. I wouldn't want to put it in a box as like a religion, but essentially, dogism is really, I feel like, what's missing in society, where people are searching for something, and what it is just all you gotta do is adopt a dog, and you'll be good. And there's a bunch of lessons and ways to kind of really get down with the whole learning from your dog thing, and that's why I'm writing books now. and I'm talking about it, and I'm going to be making myself available, like to you, to the masses, and on my social medias to be of more service to the community and to share my message of, you know, letting dog lead the way. Which some people might say, yo, that's crazy, but I think there's a lot of things that are way more crazier than, you know, witnessing God alive in the form of dog. Whereas we're kind of like, you know, we're like most of society's thinking of like God that's outside of them, or like some kind of like thing up in the clouds looking at you. But really, God is here. God is a living man. God is dog. God is nature. God is Mother Earth. And if we can get down with that, life will become a celebration, and then there won't be a third world war. The only way we're going to stop this third world war is if people start celebrating, dancing in the streets, coming together in unity. We got to get rid of politicians. We need public servants, and we need great public services for all the tax dollars they take from us. So those are the kind of things that I'm kind of wrapping all together when it comes to dog consciousness. It's just time for us to wake up, and for me, dogs really provide that. That kind of like the purest. Hi, Buddha. You know, I'm talking about you, huh?
Indeed, indeed. So, Greg, with that being said, and talking about, as I say, you know, your body of work and everything, you know, that you've been able to accomplish, you know, in your career, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like these days everyone is trying to hop on, I guess, within the last decade or so, people have been trying to hop on the superhero craze. And I mean, you've been doing it long before, you know, it was, you know, the it thing to do. Everyone seems to want to like cast themselves as a superhero of some sort. So can you talk a
Yeah.
bit about that and taking on, you know, an iconic character like Beast Boy, and even, you know, not just doing something within the DC universe, but also doing it within, you know, the Marvel one too with Spider-Man.
Yeah, playing Iron Fist in the Marvel Universe is so fun. It's such a blessing. He's definitely me in the Marvel Universe. I find a lot of my characters that I've been playing since day one are just there's so much um, an outlet for my different personalities, which I have a lot of understanding. I've been through a lot in my life from being at the bottom. Basically, I live also with mostly homeless people in front of my house, so I understand all the different types of human experiences that can exist, and the suffering and the great joys that can come from a human life. And I bring all that to my characters, and I feel like that's what makes a real life superhero. What makes a real life superhero is understanding, you know. So I bring understanding to my roles.
Definitely. And to speak further on that, you know, having that longevity with Beast Boy, do you feel having that approach has been the thing that has allowed you to have that, you know, longevity with that character? Because I mean, it's not, you know, it's not every day with certain characters that you become so that a person becomes so synonymous with that. I mean, another example with that with I can think of is perhaps like Mark Hamill with the Joker, or even with some of the other characters that we have out there, like with Bruce Wayne and Batman. So you know, with those pillars, you know, those folks that you have, standing with those folks and having that longevity with that character.
Yeah, 20 years I've been playing Beast Boy, and I've played almost every incarnation of Beast Boy to this day. And I'm responsible and I'm grateful for helping to create who Beast Boy is for the rest of Beast Boy's existence. Long past I'm gone, Greg Cipes will be Beast Boy, and Beast Boy is Greg Cipes. No matter who plays him, it's always going to be me in there, and I'm grateful for that because he's such a dynamic, powerful, in tune with Earth kind of character as the first ever vegan vegetarian superhero, and also just a lover of being a rascal and being a joker, and having fun, and being able to turn into every animal on planet Earth is kind of the ultimate superpower. Because real life superheroes are not just human beings who realize themselves and have a bunch of understanding, but the real life superpowers and superheroes come from animals. They fly, they have all these different superpowers. So I think Beast Boy is the ultimate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I said, you know, you're a jack of all trades outside of acting, of course. You have your music as well. So, you know, I have to ask, man, with as involved as things can get with the commitments that you have as an actor, as a voice actor, how do you find the time to fit in doing music and your other passions as well?
It all just goes together. I put my music in my TV shows, and my TV shows in my music, and vice versa. Everything really just works in harmony, which allows me to actually have a bunch of free time to start writing new projects and movies. I'm starting to write movies, and I just created my first, well, not my first TV show, but I have a new TV show coming out that I created called Tom and Gary. It's a live action comedy that takes place in Venice Beach with my seagull puppet named Gary, and I'm gonna be dropping that. And it's just fun to make art, and I put my music in it, and then my acting and my friends, and at this point, I've realized that art is the greatest rebellion. So the more art you can leave behind that's full of your love, then the better off the world's gonna be because you are here. So create, create, create.
Definitely, definitely. So with that being said, based on the landscape that we're in now, I've spoken with a lot of your contemporaries with how social distancing has affected the entertainment industry, and it's been fascinating to see how it's affected different aspects of it. However, like in the world of voice acting, that has been particularly fascinating to observe. As I said, in speaking with contemporaries of yours, and the fact that apparently now there is a push, or there's an encouragement now to get all the tools that would otherwise be in a studio and have them brought into your own household. So is that still the case? Is that the case with you, or did you already have that going before it became, something these days that has become more expected?
I've had to adjust, and I'm grateful because I wish I didn't wait so long to have all of the high end, full, like soundproofed vocal booth recording setup that I have now. But I was definitely, I had to get the big, network quality sound recording set up at my house to be able to make these big network TV shows because recording in my closet was not good enough. But now I record in my living room in a vocal booth that's really it makes it sound just like the big studios, and it's really awesome that you can do that.
Awesome. And do you feel like in terms of now having that at your disposal now, that you haven't, like, things haven't missed a beat, or have there still been adjustments? I'm just curious, adjustments just in general of how the normal process would be during your shows.
It's definitely there's been a learning curve. I still get to have a lot of fun, and we're on Zoom calls with the rest of the cast usually all at once, so we're kind of doing it together still with Teen Titans Go, and um, it's allowed again for some extra free time that I'm creating new things. Like I have a new podcast called The Ship It Show with Tara Strong, the queen of voiceover, voice
Of
acting, and
course,
just in
of
general,
course.
she's the queen of queens. So me and Tara have a new podcast that airs every Tuesday. Wherever you like find podcasts, you can listen to it. The Ship It Show, and it's basically a show where we're exploring all of the different fandoms and all the different ships that could happen in the fandoms, and it's just it's endless, and it's so fun to have. We have cosplayers on, and the creators of the show, and the writers, and the actors, and we just have fun, and it's just one big love boat. So every week we got new episodes coming out on our YouTube channel. You can watch it live or listen where all podcasts are found. The Ship It Show with me and Tara Strong. It's definitely worth checking out. I think you'll like it.
All right, awesome, man.
We
Well,
get we get wild.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. Well, outside of the podcast, I know you were commenting earlier about some of the other projects that you have that are TV shows. So, are you able? Is this too early to specify like what those shows are specifically, or is this still basically in development right now?
Well, I feel like what I'm really setting myself up for, and I feel it in my energy. I'm like ready to burst. I'm setting up my own Tyler Perry kind of studio where I'm just gonna make the art that I want to make while I'm here, and I'm just gonna put it out and put it out and put it out. And of course, as an actor, I'm kind of in the center of all of these projects that I'm creating and starring in, and I'm writing. It's stuff for me to be in. So, the show that is about to come out called Tom and Gary is something I've been working on for years. It was written by my friend Eric Beck, who's a big TV writer now, and he wrote an amazing episode. He's writing a second episode for us now, and I'm just making my own stuff, and I'm still auditioning for big TV shows on for the networks and stuff, and I have my regular shows still going, and of course Teen Titans Go is rocking, which is so fun. The fact that we're still the number one show on Cartoon Network after 20 years is just it's so magical. And as much as there's some other good cartoons out there, nothing's you know people can argue with me about it, but I don't have to give anything to stand on. I think Teen Titans Go is maybe one of the best TV shows on television. Period. Not just animated. So it's pretty awesome to be a part of a show like that.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, Greg, thank you so much for squeezing out some time to talk about
Anytime.
everything that that you've accomplished in your career, and touching on a lot of the things of how social distancing has affected things, and even the future things that are going on, current things that are going on right now. So all of that is awesome. Before I let you go, can you tell folks where they can find all of these things?
Everything is just my name, Greg Cipes. GregCipes. It's at Greg Cipes. And Tom and Gary will be on there too. But I'm launching a new television network that kind of I didn't mention it before, but I think you're gonna like it. It's basically the new MTV. It's called Venice Beach TV, VBTV, and it's just gonna be a lot of really fun, wild, great content that it's kind of a new concept that is not new because I've been developing for a long time, but I'm just about to launch it. It's a community based television network, and you got to be on there, man. We got to stick your podcast on there. That'd be cool.
Absolutely, man. There you guys have it. You heard it here first. So
Yeah, yeah,
again, Greg, thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate you
yeah,
coming
man.
on. I'm your
Thanks for
host,
having
Brandon
me.
Troy. Absolutely. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. You can find us on Facebook, of course, which you're watching now, live streamed. However, we do encore episodes on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter at Move and Shake UNLTD, on Instagram at Movers Shakers Unlimited, and of course me, Brandon Troy ENT on Twitter, and Brandon Troy underscore ENT on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. For those of you out there, be safe, and otherwise, see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace, love, and animals, yo. Thanks for having me on, dude.
All right, man. Bye.
Peace.